Love Elevatism vlog. Kind of about unrequited love and flirting type stuff between strangers and potentials in order to become something. Seagulls are loud. Unfortunately, I am in a supermarket car park. I just did some shopping. It was just going to be a normal shopping trip after being at the mechanic and getting something repaired. And while I was in there, I've been a little bit more open to, maybe it's because it's coming up to the Christmas period now. You know, fireworks night has just happened, it's gone. I think people get more attracted to the prospect of getting coupled up around Christmas time. I mean, I certainly do all year round, but I think girls might be more open to it. Because you suddenly see tons of families and you suddenly see tons of couples together in their long winter coats, you know, just like smiling and hanging out with each other, especially in kind of shopping places. And I think if you're single, then if you're a single girl, then that must maybe have a similar effect as it does to me. Maybe even if it's just in like some kind of fashion sense, like, oh, that's a pretty picture of an ideal that I want, and I'm going to be single this Christmas, so that's not going to be me, that sort of thing. I don't know if it makes people behave differently this time of year around the shops and things. The ones who aren't coupled up looking at the ones who are coupled up, maybe they're suddenly like, I want that, what am I to do? And some of those people, the more like, what do you call them, hopeless romantics or something, start acting up in a good way, I think. So I'm in the supermarket just doing my shopping, see a couple girls here and there who are just like, oh, okay. There's a couple of hot shells around. I say hot shells because what someone looks like isn't important. Someone might look completely attractive and physically sexy, and they'd just be, this day and age, they're very likely to be a complete gimp, personality-wise, politics-wise especially, complete idiot, like some TikTok fuckhead who has the complete wrong mindset and stuff. But I try to nurture that other part of people that is not the political part, that is not the man-hating part. Try and nurture the side that loves traditional relationships. And that's a little bit about what the love side of Elevatism is about. It's 20th century style love coupling, as it was in the past, where people got together and there were girlfriends and boyfriends and there were wives and husbands, and that just happened like all the time, was very common. So my goal is to get us all back to that, as many of us as possible, back to that state, because feminism has tried to destroy it and has almost been completely successful. Anyway, back to anecdote. Was doing my shopping, just about to finish shopping, I think, pulling up at tills with my trolley. I don't care for those fucking robot tills, so pulled up with a human till. Unfucking fortunately, there was a masker, which I can't believe anyone is still falling for that bullshit lockdown stuff in 2025. Must be indoctrinated by the left, which I'm also not surprised at, hearing what BBC Radio 4 commie propaganda is like accidentally earlier today at the mechanics. Very overt communist propaganda. Anyway, I'm at the end of the till and a girl passes with her mother. Can't be sure of age. I'm never good at detecting ages. Looks like 22. Don't know if it's 22, looks like 22-year-old. And she sees me at the end of the till, catches my eye, and smiles at me. And it's one of those purposeful smiles. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I managed to catch it in time and smile back, which I normally I'm too shocked to do that. I'm like surprised, I'm knocked off my feet, and I'm like, whoa, oh, maybe I should, and then, you know, they've gone. Maybe I should smile back, but they're out of here. I've been trying to catch those more often and smile back, you know, to try and make the connection more complete. So I smiled back this time. And then she was over at the robotic tills, unfortunately, with her mother, but she kind of glanced over my direction when I was looking her direction. I was like, okay. That was almost a second thing. And I was like, is she going to stick around? Is she going to be around when I finish packing my bags from my trolley and get going? And she wasn't. And, you know, just kind of looking around, moving slightly slower with my trolley as I go out of the supermarket, just seeing if she's there anywhere, you know. Because that's what you should be doing. If you are, that seemed like a purposeful interaction. Like whatever I looked like at that moment was something she liked. And maybe she was one of those people who are like, I'm single, it's nearly Christmas, it's winter mood, it's getting on, wish I could find someone, so I'm acting out in a way that nobody else is. Because it's rare, it happens, and I love it when it happens, but it's fucking rare. And because it's rare, I don't think anyone knows what to do with it. Like, they don't know what to do to further it, they don't know how it works, because, you know, feminism has indoctrinated people into thinking that's not how it works, or that we should change doing that since the 20th century, and we definitely fucking shouldn't. So, yeah, I think that could have been an interaction, and it's like the Bristol girl this year was a much better thing for me, because I saw that girl like 7 times, and every time she hung around where I was, and she smiled at me, and then she'd appear in another place that I was in, and another place, and another place, and it was like, this is a pattern that I should be paying attention to and reacting to. And it's just like, if that was what people were doing to flirt, then things would get done, things would happen. You know, you'd bring me out of myself, because I'm an introvert, you'd bring me out of myself to the position where I would actually flirt more and more, to the point where I'm like, greeting them, saying hey to them, trying to talk to them, and a connection is actually being made, and suddenly you know them. You'll get their number or whatever, you're talking to them about something, you want to find a way to make sure you don't lose this person from your life entirely, because most of these mini connections you do where you just smile at someone, if you don't follow that up, if you don't do more, then that was just a kind of a wasted encounter, like what happened just now today. It's a wasted encounter, because, you know, there's a guy who likes a girl, there's a girl who likes a guy, and nothing's going to happen because they don't follow up on it. They don't keep the pressure going, I guess. Not pressure, but they don't recognize, like, oh, seen someone I like, they seem to like me. I don't know if it's a game or something. It's like you've got an opportunity there and you have to capitalize on it. And you have to recognize that it's happening. Recognize that you've found something, you know. You sit next to someone on a park bench, and then you notice they're attractive. And then they do something, whatever, some kind of mild flirt that makes you know that they're attractive. And, like, that's an hugely important thing that should make you go, it should make you recognize that something is happening that is very important, and your first reaction, I think, should be to slow down and to try and stay in the area of that person, because you have no contact details, you have no way of getting in touch with them. It's not like we're in the past where everyone's meeting the local girl from their village, so you can find out, oh, that's a girl who'll always be somewhere in our tiny town down the road somewhere. I'll bump into her again for sure, I'll run into her again for sure, so I can, you know, make this into something. That's how it was in the past. How things are now, you know, partly the fault of globalism bullshit, is that we're all spread out and we're all trying to use social media to contact each other, and no one's in a tiny village and trying to meet someone from that village. No one's in a position, basically, where they see a stranger for the first time, and then they're guaranteed to bump into that stranger again. You have to put the effort in to make sure you see a stranger a second time, else that just won't happen. That person will get lost. You know, that person you just saw in the shop who was really cute might just be visiting from London or some shit. Might have just come down from Scotland for the day and is going back in 25 minutes. Like, and you just met them there. So you're not going to run into them again by just keep coming to the supermarket at the same time each week. because they're fucking gone. Unless you continue the flirting, grow on it, expand on it, and get contact details, because that's the only way you're gonna see anyone in the modern day is get a phone number, get a Facebook page, something like that, and then start planning regular, visits, maybe once or twice a week to see that person. That's something that we've lost with dating. I mean, people just don't have any effort in that regard, or any even just clarity of mind to know it's happening in order to keep it going and to grow it and expand it and actually get yourself to the place where a relationship can begin. And a lot of people don't do it in the same way as me. They do it in an ugly, normie fashion, which is like go out at night clubbing, get drunk, dance with a girl, grind on each other, fuck them that night, and then that's like, that's just an awful fucking way to meet people. That's like, that's just one night stand territory anyway, isn't it? It's nothing. And then the modern day is trying to turn OnlyFans into some version of dating or something, and that doesn't work either. I think we lost a lot when we lost things like MSN Messenger and Skype. They were quite important. When they went, it was difficult. I think when everyone got mobile phones, they made it, in some ways, that made it a lot more difficult. In some ways it helped because you could text each other. No, I don't think anyone texts each other anymore, do they? They have some other technology in place of that. But I was from that era, I guess. Before the internet and before the mobile phones, and then I was in that era also, just into the internet and just into mobile phones. And all of that was helpful technology for dating, and no one was massively political. And everyone believed, communism has gone away, Nazism has gone away, terrorism is a thing now, or something. Basically I'm saying people weren't as political in the time that I was beginning my dating stuff than they are now. Everyone's fucking political now, and it makes huge rifts between everybody. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many obstacles to dating. But a lot of the obstacles to dating these days are massive far left indoctrination of people into believing things that just aren't true. And it stops the traditional 20th century coupling and love and flirting. And that is what I'm getting at, is we are in need of learning or relearning these techniques, picking up the techniques from the past and redoing them for the future. That kind of traditionalism in love. And a lot of that is about conditioning yourself to behave in a way that is difficult for you to behave. You need to get Spartan, you need to do things that you're not used to, and that involves ignoring everything female collectives say and tell you to do, or political, left-wing socialists, and taking it upon yourself to try and find someone you like and try and be with people you like. Try and meet new people. That's a big one. And meet people in places where they say you shouldn't meet them. Like supermarkets, like airports, like train stations. I think too many people rely on school and workplace. It can't just be school and workplace. It has to be, you go out to where people are and you meet them there. Library, bank, cafes. Try and talk to someone at a cafe. Asking people out who are working. Being someone who is working and asking out a customer. All these sorts of things. Bus stop. Ask someone out at a bus stop. Now that's somewhere I can tell a feminist asshole would jump in and go, no, you can't ask someone at a bus stop. That's harassment, that's abuse, that's misogyny, that's sexist. What are you fucking talking about, you mental nutcase? Yes, you can ask someone out at a bus stop. It is a place where people congregate, wait in a place together. Strangers are positioned at a place where they have to stop with other strangers, and during that time when you're waiting, you should be putting it to good use. Not that feminists even think that is good use, but why not? You should be asking people out in these places where people are, out in public, not on the internet. Asking people out on the internet is becoming a failed project, but I'll save that for another video, talking about dating sites and bullshit that doesn't work. Thank you for watching.